Hey everyone, welcome back to the KEMPIRE Daily YouTube channel. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads. In today's video, I wanted to talk about reading. It's one of my favorite things to do. I don't do it as much being home most of the time, working from home. It's become more of a habit that I used to do while commuting or on the train or on a ferry or, out in a park somewhere. But I've really had to make an effort to read. And I know that there are a lot of people out there that love to read. And there are some people that just love to read certain things or something that's short and sweet. So I got something for you today in my book recommendation. It's one of my favorite books that I've read probably 4 or 5 times. I'm actually probably going to read it again because it's short and simple. And some of the rules that I hate to call them rules, some of the principles that are highlighted in it are so basic, but so monumental for your life. And it had to be the first book recommendation that I shared with you. And it's called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's one of my favorite books. I've read it multiple times. I'm actually about to read his other book, The Mastery of Love. But this is still my favorite book by him because the principles, I actually had the principles posted up at my desk, in my office space. And to be honest with you, the reason why I've read it so much is because there's a lot of principles that we read about that we try to implement and we sometimes forget. And that's common and that's fine. But it's such a short book. Look how short this book is. And it's such an easy, straightforward read. I know you probably have read so many different self-help books that are just sort of like, I get it, or I have to read it again. No, it's not that type of book. And I have all kinds of highlights in here. It's one of my favorite books. I've shared it so many times, and I'll share more of my favorite books. But this one is more of a self-help life book. And the 4 agreements, I'm just going to quickly go through them and just kind of give you what Don Miguel Ruiz says they really mean. But he goes in more in depth within the book. And as I said to you before, this book is so short and straight to the point. It's only 138 pages. But anyways, the first principle, be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. This goes back to everything that I believe in regards to what we say, and mostly what we say to ourselves. A lot of times people are saying, be careful what you say to people and how you speak to people, speak to other people, but we forget to use that principle for ourselves and what we say to ourselves every day. And that's why I'm a strong advocate for affirmations, especially when it comes to yourself and loving yourself. The second agreement, don't take anything personally. And we've all struggled with this one. Don Miguel writes, nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. We all can learn from this. We are always taking something personally, even if it's not about us. On some level, we're taking in what someone has said or done personally, and that's not just about negative things. That's about positive things. People will compliment you all the time. And if you take that personally, the minute that you don't get that sort of a compliment or justification, you're going to feel it. Not taking things personally is a better way of bringing balance for yourself in your opinion of yourself. The third agreement, don't make assumptions. We are all guilty of this one. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. As I said before, reading the book will go more in depth in regards to his thoughts on making assumptions. But we do it all the time. We assume in our relationships. We assume in our love relationships. We assume in our family situations. We assume in how someone's treating us. And we forget that they're going through their own something, their own world, their own thoughts, their own interpretation of your interactions. If we live by these first three principles, I'm telling you, you will change the way that you see the world around you. And the last agreement, always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. I have to remind myself of this last principle multiple times. When I'm doing the podcast, I try to do a wellness podcast and an entertainment podcast. So that's 2 podcasts a week. Recently, I just couldn't think of what I wanted to do for the wellness podcast. Like, oh, do I want to do this? And then I would try to force myself to do one. And to me, doing something out of force is not going to be good for myself or for you. That's trying to get something from the podcast. Do your best. If you've done your best, there's nothing for you not to be proud about because you've tried your best in every situation. Keep these agreements with you. I keep them posted. I actually have a 5th agreement, and I'll give it to you guys here. My 5th agreement that I had posted at my desk was always, and it's one of my biggest principles, mind your own spiritual business. I need to contact Don Miguel and tell him he needs to add that to the book and make it to 5 agreements. Mind your own spiritual business. What someone's going through spiritually, mentally, emotionally, that's their business. Unless they're reaching out to you for support or anything like that, we make everything our business. And I know it because I talk about entertainers and celebrities and things like that on our platform. But at the same time, I always have to remind myself that's their journey. I can't make someone do what I think they should do. Everyone has a different journey. We have to let that go. We have to forgive our family and our parents for not being who we thought they should be in comparison to what we think parents and family and lovers and friends should be. You have to let that go. So I hope that you will take an opportunity to check out Don Miguel's book, The 4 Agreements. I'll put a link in the description box so you can get a copy of your own. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you tomorrow. And if you have a book recommendation, drop it in the comments and I'll definitely check it out.